So, based on the end of yesterday's, where we were looking at a very blank page, it has now been, as of last night, it has been fully recovered. So our design room is back and everything's there and everything's exactly the way it was. It was just a fluke, but we did get it back. So here we are. It would be cool because this is where we're working right now, and I've slowed down, and I apologize for that, but we'll get it kicked back up. Um, we have pretty much the top half done. Let's go ahead and build our blacksmith, carpenter, and our stores here, these ones down here, and then we'll get to the town hall and the school and all that stuff as we go. But from the standpoint of the in our game engine itself, we are doing pretty well. I guess I could figure out how to hide all those. They do get quite cumbersome. Pull. I'll show you what I'm looking at here real quick. Is the for a stream, this gets very busy to me. So let me move this over here so I can open this up a little bit more so I can see it. And then you can see where all this stuff up here can become quite cumbersome after a while. We're just going to move a lot of it out of the way so that it's off of our map. I'm sure I can shut them all down, but I want to keep them open for, well, technically, let's see what happens. If we shut them down, do they stay? I'm sure they stay. They just minimize. Minimizing is a good thing. Let's do that. Minimize them all. It doesn't kill them. It just takes them out of view. And then we will open the ones we need as we need them, because I'm pretty sure they're all still there. Let's see, yep, they're all still there. But I just wanted to show how they pile up. Now, one of the things that I was talking about earlier is right now I'm putting this together with very minimum knowledge of this software. So I have started in the background, I've started learning the software a little bit better, but we won't be adding that for a while. But we're going to continue the way we've been going and then go from there. So let me make sure I put, let's do this. We need to move this a little bit more that way. And then, no, that's needed. I keep remembering how the controls work on this thing. I need that window. Yeah, that could be behind me. That's fine. My hair is completely white. I wished mine was completely white at one point. I actually had a desire for all my hair to be gray by the time I was 60, but it didn't happen. Ads will be coming in 2 minutes. Okay, so we will ads start. Okay. Wow, that looked weird. I'm saying are ads on because it's telling me on screen that it's not because we're not looking at the thing. But let's go back to, let me pull this up. We're going to go ahead and build the blacksmith shop is the plan right now. So we will do that. That is what we will do starting after the thing. So we will go to rooms. Say rooms, which is rooms in the village. And we will be building blacksmith shop. Blacksmiths. With our small little connectors. Yeah. And we will connect it up and we will be happy and happy will be good. See what's going on here. Hello, hi, chat. Hello, Nutmut. There are downsides to having all white hair. I'm sure there are. But as you can see, the gray is creeping in. It's just not doing it at the speed I had expected it to. What is that one? Shaka, bro. Awesome. God, remind me of my childhood. Shaka. Ads now. And we are in ads. So I will hold off building our blacksmith just for a couple minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to... God, why does that keep... Stop doing that. The blacksmith, carpenter, clothing store, and then get all the buildings in. Once all the buildings in, then we'll start talking about other things. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay out there? Okay, is that still running? Please still be running. Yes, it is. Good. Not this one. Yes, this one is still running too. All right, we're all good. Sorry, just doing a systems check to make sure all the things that we need are running. Let me turn that off. Okay. We have 53 seconds. How you doing, Joe? I'm doing okay. I was a little off this morning when we started, but I'm definitely doing better. Just wondering, what roles did you work as in the industry? Okay, that's a very long list. So I'm going to cheat on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up. Let's see. I'll put it over here. Let's see. This thing just let me look at someone's LinkedIn. There's been many, and I don't have them all in front of me. So let me try this. I think I can get to it from here. We should be coming back about now. I'm taking a look at something real quick. It's back on game. So the question at hand. Oh, hey, Paul. Look at. Is it down here? Oh, here it is. Okay. Got to go all the way back to the beginning of time. Okay, someone asked, what are all the roles you've had? Okay. Let's do a quick rundown of that, then we'll come back to this. We'll go a little bit over later, but let's go back. Okay. From 91 to 93, I was a 3D artist and general artist for Blizzard Entertainment, or for Silicon and Synapse. From 93 to 98, I was technical artist and 3D artist. From 98 to 2002, I was cinematics editor and one of the founding members of the cinematics team. From 2002 to 2009, I was DVD video production manager, which covered a lot of things. Let's see, 2009 to 2013, video and post-production supervisor, which was basically the director. We built the esports broadcast center. We built all the DVD stuff. I built a full team for all the video stuff for the teams. From 2013 2014, senior project manager for special projects for cinematics, which was BlizzCon and DVD production and stuff like that. At Amazon, I was asset creative lead. I was asset creative lead for Amazon, which I built their their marketing art team. Um, in Collide Entertainment, which was a company myself and Kevin Caldwell started. I was founder, vice president, and creative director. Then at 6 Foot, I was creative services director, head of global publishing, and then became became one of the leaders of the company, which was really good. At DagX, I was production director for creative services, and now I'm a streamer. So that's the basic rundown of it. And let's go back to what we were doing. Back to our design room. Mm-hmm. Why Wiki said you have total badass as role. You'd have to show me where that quote is. That has come up many, many times. Yeah, I mean, the thing is your title is one thing. What you do is sometimes another. And part of my thing was just feeding Blizzard culture to people and hopefully helping them to adapt to the culture and to love Blizzard as much as I did. So does that mean that you worked on? Of course, I was the editor for Warcraft 3 Cinematics and founding member of the cinematics team, because we had just started the cinematics team at that time. Around Warcraft 3. Well, not around Warcraft 3. It was more earlier than that. It was just before StarCraft 1 is when we formed the cinematics team. Oh, apparently one of the people from 6 Foot is on here. Adam068. Your joy at 6 Foot. He was an incredible leader. Well, thank you very much for that. I really liked that team, and I really thought that there was a lot of cool stuff that they could do. You know, I think that the circumstances just weren't right yet. Yes. Okay, now, how much more do you make streaming than that? There are days that on streaming, the streaming stuff is not lucrative yet. I'm hoping later it will be, but most every day that I have streamed, I've made less in that day than I used to make an hour in games. But I'm just enjoying this. So I'm hoping that financial benefits will increase later. But right now, a full day of streaming doesn't equal an hour of my pay at a regular job in the industry at the level that I'm at. Unironically, thank you for your work. You're very welcome. Blizzard Cinematics were the reason I pursued filmmaking. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's Elf Tooth. Very happy for you. Yeah, it's great to be able to film things and tell stories and stuff like that and just make real things. Thank you for that nice progression. I think about intro for War 3 probably every week. Cool. How are you today? Good. It's the same circumstance. How? Not surprisingly. Okay. Nice beard. Thank you. Anyway, what games are you planning to play? Pretty much, we're going to go through all the games that I worked at over the years. Set Teal, thank you very much for the follow. We did go over the list. Right now, we've done Lost Vikings already. We'll probably finish Rock and Roll Racing we'll probably finish next week or the week after. Then we'll do Death and Return of Superman, then Blackthorn, then Warcraft Orcs versus Humans, then Justice League Task Force, then Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, Diablo, Lost Vikings 2, StarCraft, Diablo 2, Warcraft 3, World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, and then some Hearthstone. So that's basically the order right now. But let's do this. This is what we're working on. So what we're going to do is this, is I need to build the blacksmith shop is what we're going to do right now. So let's just go villages. We're going to create a room and we're going to call it RM. So there's our blacksmith. We need to set all of our settings. Okay, views and ports. Enable viewports. Got a lot of numbers to put in here. Let me get my number list. Okay, this is our room settings. Oh, setting the room settings, 288. We need to come up here first. 288 by 216. Come on down here to the cameras. That's 868, 864 rather. 648. And we come down here and we do. Did I forget a setting? No, that should be right. Object following. Okay, yeah, this one. We want to be able to follow our guy. And then his this numbers would be 144 by 108. That should be right. I think we're missing a number here. We'll look at one of our others in a second here. That's a good size for a room, though. We'll take a look at it. Want to be able to see this? Yeah, that's way too big. That's not the right window. Let's look at our bakery. That'll give us all the right number. 310. Okay, so basic rooms. 0, 0, 320, 180, and then 86. That's all correct. And that's 144. Oh, so that's 86. I put that number in the wrong place, didn't I? I believe I did. 300 by 300 was a room, so we'll make it 300 by 300. That's what we did wrong. Okay, so we need to enable viewports. We need to display, go back to our butcher, our blacksmith, sorry. At 300 by 300. And we'll resize all these later as well, so. Correct. Enabled blue. Back. 20 by 180. 300 by 300. 180 is the window. Okay, that should make our window the correct size. And yeah, I just put those numbers in the wrong places, basically. All I did wrong. And then that should be correct. So we now have our blacksmith shop. Click on the window. You guys seeing this? Yes. Okay. What's a good solution for someone who has the idea of what they want but does not know how to bring it to life? Not sure how to explain that. And it's basically what we're doing is what I did, and let me show you here on our Miro board. So if we go here, let's turn this off. So this is how we handled exactly what you're talking about. Is if you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have a lot of things, the best thing you can do is grab a pencil and paper. And you can get any size paper. I like using big pieces of graph paper, and you can buy big bundles of graph paper at pretty much like any Office Depot or anything like that. But just start mapping things out. So what we did here was we literally started, and I'm going to be putting the videos up in YouTube, where I'm cutting out just the parts of this stuff that we're doing in YouTube in order, so you can see how we progressed through this over the last 2.5 weeks. But you just start mapping things out. So we started with our forest, and we said, okay, well, Grandpa and his grandson live in the forest, and this is Grandpa's house. Sorry, that's off the screen. This is Grandpa's house, and this is where Grandpa trains people, and this is where the clinic is, where people come for Grandpa to heal them, and then this is the well, and just basically map things out. And we started also taking notes on what's in the forest. There's trees and logs and rivers and fishes and all those things. There's also bandits in there. So there's a lake, there's a fisherman's hut, and then we started mapping out, okay, what does our village look like? And this is our village, where we've mapped out the whole village. Is what do we need in our village? What would be cool? So if you look, we have a bakery, a butcher, a general store, a restaurant, a boarding house, stables. We'll have a temple, townhouse, or a town hall, a school, pottery place, a place for candles, barber, clothing, carpenter, and blacksmith. So you just start blocking it out. And I'm talking to Armina. So, sorry, it doesn't make sense. No, it makes sense. Yeah. So just start mapping it out. You can still do all of the creative before you have to go and think about what program it goes in or anything else. Do all of that. We had a pretty good example of that yesterday. So we had mapped this out, and then we said, okay, well, now we're to a point to where maybe we can start putting in a game. So we started building it out in a game engine. We chose Game Maker Studio, which I don't know, but I'm learning. And we started with, here's Grandpa's hut. This is where they lived. This is the forest. So here's our forest get over here to the forest. So here's our forest as we mapped it, as we designed it on pencil and paper. And then here is our forest in Game Maker Studio, where we have our, close these, where we have our Grandpa's house, his training area, his clinic, and then the fisherman's hut up there. And we have a forest, which I just threw some stuff in, but we have some pathing, and then we go back, and right now, or for the last couple of days, we go to our town. And in this town, we have the names of the positions we need. We need a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, etc. But we took this and started building our village. So if we go back to Game Maker, when we go to village, here's our village as we're putting it together. It's not perfect, nor does it have to be, because all we're doing is mapping it out and trying new things. What can we do quickly and what can we do at a very low cost? Game Maker is, for the version we have, is free. So we could put the whole thing together and make a playable version with just blocks and see how it plays. And then later we'll go and start building the mines and stuff like that, but we'll get to that later. Another thing we did, speaking of the mines, another thing we did in here was we do have our mine. So, and we've decided that it would be a 16 level mine, meaning 16 layers, and we have what bad things are, things like, here's where Grandfather's brother lives, and then different mining things, like a mining clinic, the workers' barracks, these are things that we'll build out and make things of. We did have a thing about the 16 mines, and I showed that if you go to a program like this one that we went to, like this one, you can actually generate yourself some pretty good temp mines. So, and I'll show you what that means. So we generated a whole bunch of temporary mines, mine levels, and then linked them all together as just a base for here's what our mine may look like. It probably won't once we start building it, because there'll be a lot of changes and stuff like that. But it takes the weight of having to worry about designing mines off, because you can even just take these and draw out a path through them and then use that to draw your mines from that. So things like that would be kind of good. Yeah, so we built that, and we'll be building that later after we finish our village. But that's basically it. Just take a piece of paper, or even similar to what I did for my book, is take a bunch of different color Post-it notes, write on them, and put them on a wall. You know, different ideas, different things. So if you if you went and put this on a wall and you could move stuff around on the wall, even, that's actually pretty cool, and that can work. And the reason that I use Miro is because I used Miro when I was outlining my book. So if I look at my book outline, it's all laid out from 1961 all the way through, basically, to my last day at Blizzard. And but the way I got this was when I left Blizzard, I started writing things down on Post-it notes and putting it on the wall. So every time I thought of something from Blizzard, I put it on a Post-it note and put it on a wall, put it on a Post-it note, put it on a wall. And at the end, I ended up with literally in my house a wall full of Post-it notes. And then one day I just started taking them and sorting them into years. So if you look down here, oops, sorry, down here, these are all years. So I was able to cut them up and say, okay, from 1961, let's put all my memories into years. And then this up here would be years that I worked at Blizzard. So I was at Blizzard from 1991 to 2014. So I started breaking up all the Post-it notes on the wall. I wasn't even planning on writing the book at this point. It was just, okay. It was just me trying to clear Blizzard out of my head so I can go on to the next thing. And so that's how I did this. So I just took the same kind of idea and said, okay, for our game, let's do the same thing. Let's just throw a bunch of Post-it notes on the wall and see what ideas come up. So that's basically what we're doing. And I've yapped through this whole section. And I wish I had this knowledge when I was in school for this. Oh, no worries. I mean, that's just it. Is I want to show that using the things that you have now, you can go out and create anything. It doesn't have to be a game. It doesn't have to be a book. It can be those things, but it also could be any creative endeavor that you're thinking about. Like if you want to do a painting, you can have a Post-it note. It's like, I have to get 5 shades of the color blue. So I want to do a painting in blue. I want to get these kind of brushes. You can do Post-it notes for all that stuff to kind of, or even however you want to put it up. You can write lists of all the things you need to do what you need to do. And then what you'll recognize is the majority of the time, you don't always need other people right now. You will need them later, but you don't need them now. So, and it's no reason to hold up starting because you're waiting for someone else to show up, or you're waiting for someone to give you the job before you do the job. That ain't going to happen. But if you walk into a place and you say, I want to work as a designer, and you have stuff like this where you can show them, here's how I designed this, here's how I put this together, your odds of getting that job go higher than if you just walk in and go, well, I haven't done it yet. You haven't given me the job yet. So it's really cool stuff. So this is my digital wall right now. Yeah. This is what we're using for this. But we will work that out. But we did pretty good. We set up a whole town, and now we're in ads. So I'm yappish. God, I'm losing people. Losing a lot of people today. Oh well. So this is your digital wall. Yes. Oh my God. This is the wall for told us about. This is one of them. Ads will come. Okay, I love it. I left school realizing I couldn't learn this one day. I could learn this. Well, cool. This is so insightful. Thank you for your knowledge and your time. Reminds me of my dad's post-it notes. He told me to always write my ideas down. Very grateful he told me to do that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because things leave you in a moment. Like some inspirations are there and gone, and you have to stop and go, okay, I need to write that down. Another thing that you can use is on your, if you have a phone, a lot of phones have voice memos, and you can just talk yourself a voice memo. Okay, ads are running for another 30 seconds. I need to take a drink of water. Okay, so let me get back to some of the questions here that are over here. I had mentioned that I do these kind of boards for myself, for ideas I have in like this. And someone asked, how many boards do you have? I mean, one of them, how many do you have? And this is from Gef Chief. I have quite a few, because there's all kinds of different ideas, all kinds of different things that pop into my head, and I like to get them down and usable as soon as possible. Plus it's just good to have a good space for however you want to do your ideas. I was saying during the break, even you can use voice memos for your ideas. You can have a situation where you can upload them and have them typed out for you. These days, there's a lot of things like that where you can just keep feeding yourself the ideas that you come up with day in, day out, and basically have them all at your ready. So that's pretty cool. New here. What's the stream about? The stream is just about, now the first part of the stream is about games that I've made in the past, and we're playing through them in that time. Then we're doing just some goofy stuff. So we do dad jokes. And then right now we're in the game dev section where we're designing a small game. Okay. And we're also showing, the point of this section is to show that you do not need a whole bunch of big expensive stuff to start. You don't have to worry about the cost of everything before you start. Pencil and paper you can get for anybody, can pretty much get a pencil and paper, and just start drawing stuff out. And if you end up with a whole binder of ideas, that's actually a good thing. You think there's a bit of wall under my notes? Well, there probably is. But even when we were building this out, I mean, we literally were talking about everything. So like if this is the family crypt, which is what we are talking about for using as a level up device, we wrote out what advice each of the statues in the family crypt would give you, what skills they would give you, any wisdom they'd give you. We wrote some sample dialogue for it, all that kind of stuff. So we when we did this part, which was 5 days, we only worked on it for 5 days. We also talked about leveling up, what things we could do for leveling up. We put the faraway town in, which we probably have to move the faraway town because we moved the train tracks. So let's move the faraway town down here and put it way at the end of the train tracks. That way it's far away. And we talked about different things that we could pick up and use inside. different sound effects and stuff, just basic stuff, you know. Um, we talked about opening ideas as to how we would start the game, you know, how we would get you into the storyline of the game. You know, we also built a farm. We also made a list of all the people working in town. You know, we haven't built dialogue stuff for it, but we also did mock-ups of the mines. You know, so it gives us a good solid thing to start with. You know, so now what we're doing is, and for those of you that have been with us the whole time, I'm sorry about the review here, but I think it's necessary because we have a lot of new people coming in. Now we're just making a mock-up of it, and we can walk around and play it and see if it's fun or not. You know, so we'll do a mock-up, we'll try different things, and then add new things. What is the name of this program? Is it free? The name of the, you mean, if you're talking about this is just Miro. That's all this is. It's just Miro. So there is a free version and there is a pay version, but even the pay version, it's like $96 a year for the pay version. And it's called Miro. Let me see if I can get pull this down here. And I think I can get the name up here at the top, but no, can't. So, nope, it's not going to let me do that, is it? Kind of trimmed it down so that it would do its thing, but now I've screwed it all up. Nope, not going to let me do it. All right. Stretch the window too much. But it's just Miro. And it's used for businesses, use it for brainstorming. And it's a nice little program. I learned of it a while back, and it's just really cool to just throw things up in it. Okay, I'm glad you get it, Grunk Bonk. Thanks, Metro. Let's see. What is the name? This is Miro. Is it free? It is, but they do have a pay version that's about $100 a year. This has generally given me forward for my game. Oh, cool. I was stuck for a week. Sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes just going and talking to people about your game will revive that. You know, also just going out, and we talked about this before we started doing this part here. We talked about sometimes you need to get out of the house and go and do things and learn new things and all that because your brain is starving for new ideas to work on the things that you're working on. So go to museums, go to different places that you haven't been before. It's all feeding your brain. Look at things you've never looked at before. Do it. Get out there. Do it. You know, because once you lock yourself in and you're not giving your brain new food to chew on, it's going to stop. It's going to go, okay, well, that's it. You know, I've given all my ideas because I have no new stimulation coming in. So be stimulating your brain all the time with healthy things, please, not with not with stimulants. Okay, back to our blacksmith. So we're gonna basically just do a quick mock-up of what the blacksmith is gonna look like. Let me turn that out so it's not blinding in the background. Cool. So back to our blacksmith. Here is our blacksmith shop. We need to add some tiles, a tile set under the background. Okay. So on our tile set, we need to add the tile set. What is a tile set? If you click on tile set, it will ask you for the tile set. We've made a very rudimentary tile set just so that we have stuff to put in there. This will in no way we in no way consider this a final tile set. This is just, we're inside the, this is just us building things from inside, you know, so put some walls around it first. Now, for those of you that have never used this program, the white box that you see is what the screen sees. Like this is what your player will see. So as you walk around, that box will move with you. So let's go with this. Okay. Back to draw. So let's go back to our map real quick. The village. And okay. We zoom in on our blacksmith. He has, he needs 2 to enter. So I'll go back to, that's our stables. Here's our blacksmith. Let's move our blacksmith over by our village so that it's close by. So we know that, and these aren't to scale because we're just throwing them together. This is our entrance, you know, so we will, here's what we're going to do. We need we're going to use some of the stuff that we built before. So we need a fiery furnace. This is going to, we're going to put a couple fiery furnaces in. In fact, let's just do this. We'll put 4 in. I think that's good. Yeah. 4 fiery furnaces. We need a work table. So let's do some, let's just build. And this is, like I said, this is all just mock-up stuff so that we get the basics. We'll go back later and do all kinds of artwork for all this stuff. But right now we're just in the mock-up stage. We'll give another one over here for his assistant because we have 2 blacksmiths. We have a regular blacksmith and we have a apprentice blacksmith. And when you're first starting out in your lower levels, you deal with the apprentice blacksmith, and when you're higher levels, you deal with the main blacksmith. So let's do this. Let's build a middle table, basically. Yeah, 3 spaces between. Yep. And we broke that. Let's fix it. Okay. So that when you come in, he can lay stuff up on the table and show you what he's working on. And eventually we're going to have to build some anvils. But what we'll do for now is we will use these as anvils. And then this one over here. A4. So there's 4 anvils. And then let's see what we can do with sprites here. We can just to kind of fill things out here. Let's go to some of our objects. Go to our instance level. It's over here, so we got it fully on screen. We're going to throw some chairs in there. Oh, we forgot to change this to 16s. Okay, so throw some chairs in there, a couple in there, waiting for the blacksmith. And then we'll throw a table in there, a couple tables, which we can probably use tables here instead too, but for right now, we'll just do that. So he can throw off his blacksmith stuff. And I think we need to make another entrance as well, or an offshoot of it. Here's what I'm thinking. If we put another door in, go back to our tiles. Let's put another door here. And here's why, is I'm going to extend the map down 3 more, or 4 more blocks. Okay, so let's go to room, blacksmith. And what I want to do is I want to change the height of this to, let's say 400 for right now, because I don't know how many my idea is going to need. And what we'll do is this. We're going to build out an area for them to bring horses in and things like that, so that there's so that they can reshoe horses and stuff. I think that would be a good idea for us in the long run, so that It's a full working town type thing. So this is our horse area. So that's kind of cool. And then we can make a, since he doesn't have a whole lot of horses in there all the time, we'll just make a quick little stable. Couple little stables here. Something like that. Okay, so let me go back over here. What is the name of this program? Okay. Oh, damn, that sounds cool. Anvils were pain to make in my Sims version. Yeah, for those of you that are just joining us, go to our Discord. And Savvy Otter had over the weekend had taken our basic design and built it in Sims, which was really, really cool. And she made a full video and then did a walkthrough explanation of it all. So I would definitely go and look at that. It's amazing considering how limited the Sims are, and she's done a fantastic job of it. So I really can't speak higher of it than I am right now. Now, one thing we did with when we made our things before is we gave our horses water, and these are just mock-ups, and then we gave them a food thing. Right now, these are all just placeholder things, so they can be working on 4 horses at a time in the blacksmith shop for those kind of things, should it be needed. And then we can add that to our game design, our village design, whereas we can just bring a path down here with the tile set, tile set. So we can bring a path basically down this way and around and just do it like that. That way we have an entryway for horses to come in and things like that. Oh yeah, so we're all good there. And then what we'll do is what we were doing before, we'll do as we're working on now. So we know that we need to do a warp jump block here. Oh, sorry. Cancel. We go here and do our warp jump block. Make it too wide there. Turn off our grid. Make it halfway. Let's grab one of our other ones from up here. I want to grab the code from it, so let's open it up. Pull that. And this is very rudimentary, and as people know, I've only just started using this program. I watched one tutorial on it, so don't expect absolute magic. But what we're going to do is we need to go. Oh, I forgot I can't zoom in. So we're going to go to the blacksmith. That's where we want them to transfer to. And because this is the top door, we want them looking down when they come in. Down, down, down. Okay. Now we can close that one up. But we need these numbers. Let's go into our blacksmith's map again. And we want them to appear right there. So as we talked about before, down here in the corner is the coordinates. And where you want him to teleport to is I'm going to put him right here in the middle, which will put him at 175.30. So if we go back to our village, back to this, we go 175.30. Oops. 175.30. So when we get the teleports up and running, that's where it will go. He will jump from there to there, which is great. And he'll be looking down, because the reason he's looking down is because if he comes in through here, he'll be looking down. So when he enters the blacksmith, he'll also be looking down here. Then another thing we'll do is we'll add this one. We'll add the inside ones in a minute. Let's finish the outside ones first. So this one was 4, I think. No, just 3. Okay. Okay. Brain work. Okay, so we go and we grab this warp again, drop it here. Actually, let's turn our grid back on and snap it to a grid. And move it down to that. And we haven't finished our outside buildings yet, so we just have placeholders for them, so I'm not concerned about being perfect uh, block for block as far as spacing. So we will get to that eventually. And we'll do this, and say V, and we'll go blacksmith. I screwed that up. Z, thank you. Grab the blacksmith room. We want him to, since he's coming in from the right, we want him facing left, so that is correct. Let's go back into here and say here is we want him to appear right about there, which is 270, 271, 343. Oops. Oops. Nope. Go back to 271, 343. Okay, so that teleporter is all set up. Let's close those two out. So that one's done. Close this one up here. Satil, thank you for the subscribe. Okay, so we have those entrants. Now let's go and while we're still out here, let's put our grid back on. And we want our guy to go there, which is 350, 352, 1071. Okay, let me get my notebook out. Sometimes you're going to have when you're working with any kind of program, sometimes you're going to have a notebook that you can just jot things down in. It looks like I took my notebook upstairs, so I was writing some notes in it last night. So I will, because I don't want to use this one. This is my Jekyll and Hyde one. I don't want to use that one. But I do have a pen, and I have some scrappy paper somewhere. I'll write it on my hand. No. Oh, that's silly. What is that? That is something I can write on. Yes, you are now a note. Okay, so as we were saying, we'll put him about right there when he appears out, which is 352 by 1071. Let's look at our other one while we're up here. So when we go back in, we can do it right. Let's put him at 271, 943. Okay. Let me check our questions here. Okay, those of you guys that are new, if you're asking me a question, be sure to put at your joy in your chat. Oh well. Because if you don't, I won't see it. It'll go by and I'll think you're talking to somebody else. You don't, but we'll work it out. I'm not a blacksmith, so I'll throw every option in there, Sparta, and we'll see how it goes. Really enjoy the stream and dad vibes. Yes, exactly what I needed today. Well, I'm glad I could help. Satil. Ads. Satil also subscribed. Thank you very much for the tier 1. Your Jekyll. Yes, my Jekyll. I will explain that in a minute. Ads now. We have ads for another minute and 6 seconds. I have stalled everything out. I'm not going to do anything till it comes back. doop 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 doop. I need a drink of water. I'm slowly getting the hang of this. But as I keep just ads really break your momentum, which I find absolutely heartbreaking. But we will figure out a thing around that. So, but we will all be good in the long run. Okay, so here's where we're at. So I'm going to stop for a second and look at, since we're back from ads, look at some of the things that are in comments. What I was saying, I believe before was, if you have a question or if you want me to see something, put at YearJoy at the beginning of it so that it highlights it in chat so I can see it, because sometimes I do not see things that people are asking. Aagge, Aagge asks, your Dr. Jekyll and Hyde notebook? Yes. I was talking the other day, one of the things that I really liked when I was in Cambridge in the UK is their bookstores. A lot of them will take old books that were whatever was wrong with them, but they would take the covers of old books and they would fill them as blanks. So you could get them as blanks, but they're the original cover for a real book, which I thought was cool. And this one is literally Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by R.L. Stevenson. See, it says Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by R.L. Stevenson. And it's a real book cover, but they fill it with blank, which is good for notes. And the reason I bought this one, number one, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and why wouldn't you? You know, but I would say what I told everybody I do with it is if I open it like regularly, then that is all my good thoughts. If I flip it over, then that would be all my bad thoughts, was my thought for this book. And I don't want to use it just for notes. I want to use it for other things. But my negative and positive thoughts, because everybody has negative and positive thoughts. So that is my Jekyll and Hyde book. But the blank books, because you can get them in all sizes. In fact, the notebook that I was looking for, which I believe is upstairs, it's an older book as well, but it was filled with blanks. Leather brown covers are lovely. Oh, absolutely. They'll last a lot longer than just a paper notebook. So, and if you get the right book names, you could have a lot of fun with that. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we now have I have written down the numbers for inside. So let's go back into the blacksmith, and yeah, who was it? Sparta did bring up the example of, well, horses don't usually go into the blacksmith. Well, in this town they do. No, true. But my theory is that if someone brought a horse that threw a shoe, the blacksmith could fix it here as opposed to going all the way across town to the stable. You know, but if we condense things once we start actually building stuff, similar to what Savvy Otter did with her buildings, where she made it a city block, which was kind of cool. Yeah. Then we can work out other things. So let's drop these real quick. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong level. Has to be on an instance. We'll just drop them first, then we'll come back and write them. Okay. Okay, put the grid, just take the grid off, zoom in here. Put it about halfway. And just click on it. Come on. There we go. Come here, you. So we'll put our stuff in. Now, he's going to be going to the village. of the village. You will be looking right when it goes out. Right. Okay, and this is the bottom door, so he's going to go to 352. And this would be 1071. Okay, so that should be good. Let's close that. Come up to the top one. Do the same thing. About halfway. He also will be going back to the village. He'll be looking up. And he will be landing at 271. 943. Cool. So technically, our little mock-up of the butcher is, or sorry, of the blacksmith is done. And it's not perfect. And to Sparta's point is blacksmiths don't usually bring horses in, but we're going to leave that there because I have an idea for some quest stuff that for later that we can possibly use this for. So, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, cover that. Ads. You can still bring the horse in front of the blacksmith. Yeah, but hello, party people. Hello. Because they have to put shoes on. Yeah, that's what my theory was, is they can, but what if you want new shoes on your horse, and then but he has to stay the night to do it. Then you can go over to the boarding house and they'll have a place to keep them so they don't have to go all the way over to the stable. Which we're probably going to end up running into a situation where we're going to need to move the blacksmith over by the stable, but for right now we're gonna keep it where it's at. Okay, so now our mocked up blacksmith is done. Let's go now to our carpenter. So it's silly, I know, but and I think that we forgot to put moved a tree. Didn't mean to move a tree. Yeah, maybe we'll put another thing here, but we'll talk about that later. Whether we put that other door in or not. Carpenter builds big stuff. So let's actually make go to our tile set. We're gonna make this a little bit bigger so that he has a much bigger opening to kind of bring things in, which means we have to do something like that. That will bring it down one so it's even. That looks better. So he'll have 4 things because he'll have to be bringing in and out big tables and big wood pieces and all that kind of stuff. Love your shirt. Thank you very much. Just a quick reminder of the shirt of the day. This is the shirt of the day. We do show off the shirt every day. Let's go back to design room. Okay. Leather bound covers. Okay. Yep. Okay. So we need to go back to our list. We need to go back to the village and we need to make a carpenter. Create the room. And it is an RM. And okay, whatever. It is what it is. That's what it is. And then we need to do all of our setups. Okay, we're going to go back to the 300 by 300 here. That is the size of our current room. Let's bring it over here so we can see it. And more than likely, we're going to find a better way to do this as we do more things in the game, as I learn more things about Game Maker Studio. Because, like I've said, I've never used it before, so it's I'm kind of learning as we go. Because I wanted to show you that not a it's not a bad thing to just jump into something and start to learn it. Want that visible? There we go. That's our nice little viewer window. See, this would be the 800 864 by 648. This would be 144 by 108. And we want to follow our player sprite. So that should be good. Now we can go in and add a tile set and go to our tile set window and say, this is the tile set we're going to use, which is the only tile set we have. Because you can use different tile sets on different things, and we'll probably get to doing that kind of later, which would be kind of good. But for now, we're just, like I said, we're just mocking stuff up. So we left basically we'll also find that probably some of these are just too big, but that's okay. Because right now we're just, like I said, we're just blocking stuff out. Scale isn't correct yet. None of that's correct yet. So, but we will get there. So here we go. So what do we need for a carpenter? It's mostly just tables and like power saws and stuff. So we'll put like working equipment back here, and I'm just using our cache all thing. So that would be drills and saws and all that stuff. Arclight, thank you very much for the follow. And then we'll build not a sales counter, but a presentation counter. That's good. That's fine. A presentation counter, which is like, here's the stuff I made for you, and we're going to lay it out here so you can look at it. Which all of our buildings have these now. All of our stores have these. Yeah. Indra Jackal, thank you for the follow. I'm Indra Jack Jithkal. Intrajithkal. Okay. That's good. Let's see. It's just a carpenter shop. So all of our tools, which we'll have to work out because we'll have to build stuff like that. Let's go back to our sprites. We'll throw some chairs in for people that are waiting for something that's being built. So we need to our instance. We'll throw some chairs in. Oh, forgot to change this. I just forget that. That's massive. Kidding. Not going to go that big. Cool. Now we can drop some chairs. Why is my chair not dropping? How about a bed? Oh, it is there, isn't it? Yes, it is. We need to bring it to the front. Position, frame. Oh, best way to bring it to the front? Put the tile set on the bottom where it belongs, dumbass. Okay. Sorry, I had a moment. Oh, I'm not in tiles, don't want to be in tiles. All those chairs we put down, we don't need a bed. Throw a table in there. So, how are you today? We're having coffee. I want to have coffee. I'm waiting for my chair to be made. And we got a couple display chairs on the wall. Display. Oh wait, yeah, we could put beds in here because, well, a carpenter would build a bed, wouldn't they? So let's make some display beds. That's funny. Yep, would be some display tables. What else would they have? Oh, what do we have? Oh, we need a carpenter. Maybe his wife. Yeah, so there's our carpenter's hut. Lady not available. Thank you for the follow. Okay. Yes, I did recover the Miro board. Here, I'll show you. See, everything's back to normal. Everything's there. We lost nothing. It is protected and it is happy. So, okay, so did you recover the Miro board? Yes, I did. Which engine is this? Right now, we're just using Game Maker Studio. This Game Maker Studio, I downloaded it Saturday and did a tutorial, and now we're using it. Did recover the Miro board. Papa. So you can also put, this room's probably a little too big for what we're using it for, but that's okay. We're just doing mock-ups. So all the buildings right now, the smaller buildings are all the exact same size. And when we start actually making real artwork, it's going to determine the size of these rooms. You know, as we start doing that and as we start walking around them, that'll determine what the size of the rooms are. You know, we will need to go in and make a layer for collision. So let me rename that. Just call it walls for now. So walls, and then that would be, we would go to our assets and we would go wall. And then on that layer, we would draw walls. Look, walls. That's a wall. Where'd it go up there? Come down here. Don't be that way. Just drag it this way. Either way, you're going to do it, buddy. What is this set to? This seems to be set weird. Oh, okay, that's why. 16 by 16. Okay, now it'll work the way now it should work the way we want it to work. So we put walls in. Boom. Which I think we forgot to do in our blacksmith building. I personally liked them on separate levels. So if you look, there's a wall level up here. Then there's everything in the building. So if we turn like this off, all that stuff disappears. Oh, I have to fix the floor over there. Turn the walls off, all the walls disappear. And then tiles, of course, all the stuff that's background disappears. So I believe the tables already have their own collisions. So for the most part, this is all we really need. We could also go back to our tile set and drop a couple more of these in here. Oh, no, we just need the one. You know, so that there's more things going on. More workmen doing more things. How about that? Since we have the space right now. Yeah. That's not too bad. Okay. Recover. Yes, I did recover the Miro. Oh. Maker Studio. Why is this not scrolling? Oh, okay. I guess it's at the bottom. Yep. Okay. So technically all good. We now have to do this. Here problems. Back to here a second. Let's pull this back by. Okay. We don't need double walls. We need single walls. Okay. Need to now go into here, into our instance level, and put our warp in and make it the size we want it to be. Turn our grid off. Oops. Like to make it halfway. That's close enough. Okay, zoom out. Okay. Now we're going to, from here, we're going back to the village. He's going to be looking up. We're facing up, not looking up. We're facing up when he gets there. We need some coordinates. Let's go over the village. Put him about here. We're going to put him about here just for fun and giggles because we've got to leave enough room. 447, 1022. Oops, he's way over here. 447, 1022. Okay, so his warp is set for return trip. We want the grid back on. We'll put him about here when he comes in. So that is 143.31. We go back to the village. We put a doorway in our warp block. Turn the grid off. Put it halfway in the door. So the reason I do this is so that when he's teleporting back and forth, he doesn't accidentally teleport onto that piece. Because if he teleports onto that piece, then he will just keep going back and forth, teleporting back and forth between the two places, and we don't want that. Now, let's see, we're going into the did I name it wrong? Oh, it's a capital C. Picky. Oh, for some reason, RM carp. Okay. Just there, he'll look down. And what was the number again? $143.31. 143.31. Okay. Hey, when I do that. Okay, so both of those are now set up. Oh, geez. Sorry, I didn't realize we were in ads. I apologize, guys. It's Game Maker Studio. Never start a game from the engine. Yeah, we started the a game engine is a tool, correct? Are you a goblin as well? No. I think what Sparta's point is, and is what I've talked about is this: is we started our game from paper, not from the engine itself. We brought the engine in after we worked on the paper design. What I mean by the paper design in this particular case was this. So Devil King, this is what I think he meant. If you start it from the engine, it's going to take a lot longer because you're building stuff. But if you have a basic plan, and that's all this really is, if you have a basic plan for what your world is, then it makes the time you spend in the engine a lot more productive. Let me take a look over here. I haven't been over here to look at what is going on over here. Oh, cool. Muck put his stuff up. That's awesome. Look at memes real quick. Oh, snow. Juan, you have snow today? Lots of snow out there, but yeah. Okay, back to where we were. So today we were able to get these two buildings built. So they are now in the system. We don't have a whole lot more to build here. We have, oh, sorry, that's funny. I grabbed it on that instead of on the engine. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more buildings to just kind of throw around. That one, did I move a building? I think I moved a building accidentally. Or I dropped a new building. Yep, I dropped a new building without realizing it. Say goodbye to that building. Goodbye, building. You are no longer there. So yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to do. One is the town hall, and the temple and or church, however we're going to call it. We're not calling it either right now. It's just what it is. And then we'll get back to moving to the next level, where is the next section, which is starting to, I believe, just set people, and I need to learn how to pull text box up and run wave files and things like that. So that could be fun and interesting. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm at Goblin Doors Group. I see that you're saying though the engine is the walls of the house you build. You always start with a drawing of the plan. Okay. Greetings, Mr. Hall. Hope you are safe from a snowy weather. Yes, right now I am. It was pretty cold over the weekend, but it's okay. I feel like this is a dumb question, but if this is a top-down, correct me if I'm wrong, how would you enter from the top of the building? We don't know it's going to be a top-down yet. What I'm showing you is this, is you can take any engine, and we chose Game Maker Studio as an example, and you take your design and you build it in an engine, it doesn't matter which one, and in a blocked out form like this, you can play through it and see if it's something that is fun or not, and you can make a lot of adjustments before you start worrying about what world it comes from, what all that other stuff. You know, we're going really back to the absolute basic way to get it done for number one, quickly. Number two, for the least amount of payment as possible, out of pocket as possible. But, and I have said from the very beginning when we were even doing the stuff on the Miro board, is I don't know what engine I'm going to finally do this in. I have no idea. But it doesn't mean I shouldn't make a mock-up of some kind that is playable to see if it's going to be a viable product no matter what engine I use. Thank you, Ravenous, for the follow. So it's not a dumb question at all. It's actually a very important question, is what engine? But in my way of looking at it, in the way that I say is I'm at this point, I'm not concerned about what engine. I'm concerned about whether when we do a block out, if the game is viable, if it's fun, if what adjustments need to be made before we start going to the final boom, 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 perfect graphics, perfect everything. But yeah, from this particular point, yes, this is a top down, but you can work it out to where there's tricky ways to do entering buildings from the top. How do you visually indicate that? We will get there. We're not trying to right now. Right now we're just using flat stuff. So I got a degree in game design and development. When it comes to the design aspects, I've spent a lot of hours on research into old-timey town, mainly European and Western culture, because it hasn't traveled east enough. So watching this is occasionally painful. Okay. It is, but like I will tell you this, Sparta. This layout is just a throw together layout. As wow, my brain just went blank for some reason. Ah, as the Savvy Auditor showed us yesterday, is you can take this and turn it into anything. To Ruff, thank you very much for the follow. You can turn this into anything. You just all we're doing is just basically throwing mud at the wall and seeing what it looks like. It's not perfect. This is only our third week into this, and it's only the beginning of the third week. So we will get there. All roads need to lead somewhere. Yeah. And that's all it is we're just throwing them in. In a similar vein, I have heard anecdote that Mr. in Metal Gear Solid with Lego blocks. I believe that. It doesn't matter what tool you use. It doesn't matter how you did it. It's a matter you get there. Doesn't mean the final product's going to look at it. I mean, I think that we're getting kind of lost. Some people get lost in the fact is this doesn't look like the final product's going to look. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to. This is just proof of concept, proof that it works, proof that it's something that we would play. Are our concepts right? It's not about anything else. I think that like the gentleman last Friday, it's like you're not showing like the C# code and all this other stuff. I'm like, no, we're not, because we're not there yet, and we're not even sure if this game is something that should go that far. We'll figure it out, but right now we don't know that. Like I could even see how you could turn this into a 3. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the engine to me right now is not even important. How is the YouTube play list for the series coming along? Oh, I had to install, I didn't have it on this machine, but I did have to install Premiere on this machine, and it is coming along. It'll be coming very soon. Because I had traveled over the weekend, I wasn't able to work on it, but I am chopping video as we speak, so it will be coming. I know your train of thought about it, so don't worry about explaining it. And I know it's not going to look like this once artwork occasionally starts coming out. Brett, it's something that I need to. Well, it's true. And thank you for that, Sparta. And what I would say is this, is don't get so locked in to one way of doing things. Hopefully this will help stretch that muscle into seeing some cool stuff in things that aren't cool. Yeah, it's an idea we're still playing with. Absolutely. Yes, Savvy Otter did put something up. If you go to our Discord, she made an awesome video. It's in share a link. If you go up there, it says inspired by you, your Joy Town Square. And she actually built her version of this town square in Sims 4, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And then she does a walkthrough of it and stuff like that. And it's definitely worth going and looking at. But it's a perfect example of, once we have this basic outline done, we can build it in anything. So go and look at that. That's she did it. Oh my God, she just did a really excellent job on that. Yeah. What is the idea we're playing with? Sorry if I missed the answer to that. The idea is we do, what is the simplest, fastest, inexpensive way to get to um, a game design and putting it together. And that's what we're basically working on. Is we're just throwing stuff together and trying different things. You know, yeah. Finished products are just fan art of your own concepts. You're kind of close. I can't say you're wrong on that. You know, what I always say to people is this: is there's a finite number of problems in game design. We make them infinite, and we make them infinite to an umpteenth degree as we add more and more people to the development of them. So we also have a problem where we break down communication like there's no tomorrow. Savvy Otter, I'm going to say it flat out: you are a superstar here. You are an absolute superstar in this community. You know, and I will tell you all right now that yes, Savvy Otter did the video of her little town, and it's great. But she also is the one that gave me the basic designs for redoing the Discord. So she is a superstar in many, many ways. Denti T, thank you for the follow. Let's see, what is this? Finished products, blah blah. Breakdown communications. Yeah, breakdown of communication is just a nightmare in the game industry. The more people you put between the people asking for something and the people making something is just going to cause you all kinds of trouble. This is a long thing. Let me read it here. Albert Einstein's decision to wear the same style of suit every day to reduce decision fatigue in his wardrobe. Einstein could focus his mental energy on more significant purposes, like groundbreaking scientific theories. Similarly, using the basic game engine simplifies many technical aspects of the game development, allowing creators to focus on overarching elements in their products, such as storytelling and gameplay mechanics. True. Sorry for don't worry about the long post. That's fine. You know, yeah, find the simplest tools. You know what? Take a bunch of toothpicks and throw them on the table and start building. You can start building paths and stuff like that with toothpicks. You can use anything.